Good morning, good morning, good morning. Whew, it is hot out here, guys. This humidity is kicking like Van Dam up in here today. And we had a huge storm hit early this morning. It was lightning and thundering and going all kinds of crazy this morning. Raining pretty good. So I went ahead and got up and headed to town. I figured if it was going to rain this morning and kind of stop the progress here on the mountain, that I would go ahead and make the best of it and run to town and go ahead and get some goat feed, some cat food, and also gas and hay. And I also got another 275-gallon water tote for this guy right here.
Man, and I am so thankful. We need that joker right there. That's going to help us out tremendously.
We was actually just talking about it the other day, about doing a 2-tote rotation. The one that Mike's been using right now is actually my tote as well. And he said he was going to go ahead and buy that one from me and wanted to get another one next time that we was in town together. Well, I was in town today and I was able to stack it, pack it, and rack it. Come on. And I had the back of the truck loaded down, guys, and the back seat of the truck. But I was able to get 3 bales of hay, the water tote right there. I got 2 different types of goat feed plus cat feed, and also got Eclipse, a nice little big long rawhide.
That thing is cool.
Stick.
I like that. That's pretty awesome.
And flavored one. It's not like your typical rawhide bones where you got to worry about the splintering and stuff. It's almost like a jerky.
I was just about to say it looks like a really long piece of Slim Jim.
It looks like a huge Slim Jim.
But it's hard.
It's probably about 3-4 foot long. I mean, it's pretty long. But definitely making some progress. I worked until 7:30 last night in the tiny house. Whew, I done went out the shade. Let me put my glasses back on. I'll show y'all what we was working with there. Mike ain't even seen inside here since I was working yesterday. Man, my arm, guys, right at my elbow, it feels like I got like tennis elbow or something. I could barely pick up my water by the end of the night last night. All these days of getting it in a row. I just cranked the generator up, so 79 degrees in here, but it's better than the 100 degrees that it is outside.
Man, yeah.
But just opening the door already dropped it a couple of degrees. But if you look, guys, I got the tape up everywhere.
Man.
This part right here is almost done. I probably needed at least 1 or 2 more coats on the ceiling, but definitely making some progress.
This looks so nice right here.
Oh yeah, got the trim around this right here, the J channel. Yep, got tape everywhere. Got the corner bead up and floated in right there. Need another coat on the corner bead here. Got another coat on the closet, and also got all the tape on the ceiling and the first coat with the tape on here. Some areas is going to need only 1 more mudding, and a couple of them is only going to need probably 2.
This looks nice.
So my goal is by the end of the day tomorrow to be done with the drywall and ready to paint, or at least to be able to sand Sunday morning and then be ready to paint. That's the goal, because my target is still to move in on Monday, because Tuesday we are taking down the tiny house. Tuesday and Wednesday, weather permitting.
Oh, the building that the neighbor gave us.
Yep, taking down the new tiny house. Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe it's going to be Simple Life Reclaim, Mike and Lissa, and maybe Anthony and Roxanne. Everybody wanted to do it during the week while the kids are in school, because they start school on Monday, guys. Start school on Monday. I can't believe summer's already over. But while we was in it, it seemed like it was taking forever, because it was hot as booyah out there, boy. Look at here.
Ever since June, they've been cooking.
And ever since June, we've been outside cooking. Mike hasn't been up here in a little while. I mean, off and on to get odds and ends stuff. But being that the time restraint for the tiny house was lifted, I told him to go ahead and proceed to whatever he needed to get done. I could finish all this up myself. Take a little bit longer, but it's really not a 2-man type person thing unless you just actually have the extra hands. Right. And they got some exciting stuff coming up here soon. They've been working on, matriculating through the process.
Good word. That's a good word.
Matriculating through the process of getting things situated to get started on a couple of big projects down there. So I'm excited for them.
Actually, our next biggest project is starting today. When I leave here, we're going to go down there and it's ready to be started.
After he gets these 2 things of water.
Yes.
Now, I said this on the video that's going to be coming out tomorrow on Come On Homesteading, so I'm going to say it on this one too. What is the chances of this guy being proactive now that there's 2 water totes for their camper, and actually when one goes empty to go ahead and bring it up the hill and fill it up so there's always a backup? What? Leave it in the comments.
Am I going to do it, guys? Am I going to stay on top of it? Or am I going to forget and both of them are going to run out and I had to fill them up both again?
Yeah, at night, in the middle of the night, talking about, Uncle, I need Uber, Uncle!
That's like my most famous thing. I wait until 8:30 at night when I know it's going to take an hour or so to do this process. And I'm driving back in the dark.
Yeah, every time. But he mentioned that he was out of water again. And while I was in town, I went ahead and loaded up another one because we've been talking about it from time to time, and we just mentioned it not too long ago.
Yep.
He said, next time you're in town or we're in town, let's grab another one of those totes. So I went ahead and got it, and I called him this morning because I've been out and about early this morning, guys. I've got a lot done already, and it's just now noon.
And we slept in this morning.
Yeah, and they slept in, and he didn't answer, so I just went ahead and pulled the trigger and did it anyways. And I called him on the way back and said, all right, come up the hill, help me unload something, you know. And he's getting water in the daytime now.
What a surprise, dude. I was so happy. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I made like 5 stops this morning. But it was a bunch of stuff that I needed to do, and I went ahead and topped off with gas in the truck and also the cans. I also went to the auto parts store because now the Jeep has got the tag on it, guys, is legal, is fixed. Air conditioner works, motor works, everything works fine. And we actually unloaded the Jeep with all the stuff that I brought back from Florida because I've been using it as a storage thing.
Yep.
Just because I didn't have enough storage. But ever since we put the other tent up, now I got a little bit more storage, especially being that a whole lot of stuff that was about to move to the mountain didn't come to the mountain. So now I got more space. So I decided to go ahead and unload that, and I haven't even seen the back seat until today. It's always been folded down. But the interior's in really good shape, just needs a good cleaning. So, and the brake light's busted. I did find part of the brake light, and I'm gonna try to tape it up. I'm actually gonna order one here probably this week or next week. The jingle's getting a little low, so I might have to wait until I get paid again. But I'm about to order the brake light for it. Yeah, and then I'll be driving the Jeep around unless I'm going to get a lot of materials and stuff like that. So I'm excited about it. It should save me a little bit of jingle on the back end there. So looking forward to it. Right now you see the lights dimming and stuff because I have 2 air conditioners to go and a whole lot of other stuff, plus the wells kicking on and off with him filling up that big old tote.
And I think it takes probably about it takes a solid 20 to 30 minutes to fill up that water tote.
Yeah, and it only bogs down for a second. That's just when that 220 well kicks on. And the generator's strong enough to run it, but you're definitely going to have that surge.
Hey, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you can show them out the window, look how clear that water is coming out of there.
It's getting there.
Normally, actually it's almost filled up, and normally it's actually a lot darker. A lot of the sediment and dirt is in there a lot more, so that looks good.
And orange.
Yeah.
It's definitely clearing out, which I do not have the hose hooked up to the filter system. Here in the tiny house, I have the filter system running after the hose because you don't really need to filter your water that you're using for the yard to water plants and stuff like that. So that's straight out the ground right there. So hopefully we're getting through the hard water part. I don't know. We'll see. It's bipolar, guys. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Also had seeing light through this top right corner. Well, the reason why, guys, is because that's the other side of the pump house. And there's no insulation, sheetrock, or anything over there on that side. So that's why you actually see that. And once I do the wall on the other side, you will no longer see that.
Yeah.
And also whenever I put the 1x4 there, you will no longer see that. It will seal it. I put mud up there the best that I could to seal it, but that's why you see the light there. And also on the outside, I will be doing like a soffit all the way around and fascia board all the way around with drip edge and everything else. And more than likely we'll end up running a gutter system off this building and going to get some more of these totes right here and do some rainwater catchment and stuff. Not necessarily to run this house unless I have to, but it will be a good backup to be able to do that. But really just to be able to water animals and plants and stuff like that that's in this immediate area right here without having to have the pump kick on and dim my lights and all that other stuff, especially whenever I do the solar coming here soon. After this next coming up paycheck, it won't be this paycheck coming up because I need to recoup from this past 2 months has kicked my booyakaka financially. So I need to recoup a little bit there, pay some stuff, and after I'm done with that, my plan is every check after that, once a month, to buy another component to the solar system. Nice. And start building my solar system slowly. It's going to take a little while to get it going and stuff, but hey, you got to start somewhere, guys. You got to start somewhere. That junk's expensive, so I'll start with probably some panels and, you know, buy an inverter or something like that, charge controller or something like that.
It's those batteries, man, that really put you in a headlock.
I mean, worst case scenario right now, I can run off the golf cart batteries that I got. I got like 6 or 8 of them or something like that, just as a temporary thing until I can start getting batteries. And I do have a couple of sponsors in my emails for batteries. And once I actually get some components to actually be able to use the batteries, then I might do a little bit of negotiating to see how many of those I can get them to send me. Yeah. So, yeah. Big plans in the future, guys. But first, we got to get moved in here and get that other tiny house down. And then I'm going to start working on all that kind of stuff. Right along with this winter, I'm going to be working on a lot of infrastructure for the animals while all the leaves and all that other stuff is done, and to make it a lot easier to run fence lines and stuff like that. Yep. So that's going to be the winter goal. Me and Uber and a chainsaw and an attitude, getting it going on up on the mountain. Come out. Come out. All right, guys. I'm in good spirits today. Slept good. The thunder and the storms did wake me up this morning. But about really the only thing wrong with me today, guys, is my elbow. It feels like it's about to fall off. It's hard even holding this phone up to make this video right here. But we're going to work through it. We're on the down stretch of the drywall. We are getting close. But I hope everybody has an amazing Friday and an amazing weekend. I don't know if I'm going to do any more of these this weekend or not. We'll see how I feel when I wake up in the morning. But we're going to keep chugging along here on Come On Mountain, guys. And I hope y'all are doing something nice for somebody and taking another step closer to your goals. And guys, always, and I do mean always, guys, keep it real.